what's up everyone? It's Dave and we're back with our next reading of the Old Testament. Here waiting to pick my son up from school, so I thought, hey, we can do a chapter of the Old Testament. So here we go. Alright, Exodus chapter 39 today, alright? And we'll be reading out of the King James Version. So Exodus chapter 39. Let's see what we got today. Alright, we're going to talk about garments for the priest, the ephod, the girdle, the breastplate, the robe of the ephod, the coats of fine linen and mitre, and the girdle, the plate of the holy crown, and the tabernacle work completed. So we got 43 verses today, and yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Oh, remember, if you don't have a Bible, you can go to where? Bible.com, or you can download the YouVersion app and read for free. Alright, cool. Alright, and of the blue and purple and scarlet they made the cloths of service, to do service in the holy place, and made the holy garments for Aaron as the Lord commanded Moses. And he made the ephod of gold, blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen. And they did beat the gold into thin plates and cut it into wires to work it into the blue, and into the purple, and in the scarlet, and in the fine linen with cunning work. And they made shoulder pieces for it, to couple it together by the two edges was it coupled together. And the curious girdle of his ephod was upon it, and was of the same, according to the work thereof, of gold, blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen, as the Lord commanded Moses. And they wrought onyx stones enclosed in ouches of gold, graven, and signets are graven with the names of the children of Israel. And he put them on the shoulders of the ephod, and that they should be stones for a memorial to the children of Israel, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he made the breastplate of cunning work, like the work of the ephod, of gold and blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen. It was foursquare. They made it the breastplate double. A span was the length thereof, and a span the breadth thereof, being doubled. And they set it in 4 rows of stones. The first row was a sardius, a topaz, and a carbuncle. This was the first row. The second row an emerald, a sapphire, and a diamond. And the third row a liguire, an agate, and agate, and an amethyst. And the fourth row a beryl, a onyx, and a jasper. They were enclosed in ouches of gold in their enclosings. And the stones were according to the names of the children of Israel, 12 according to their names, like the engravings of a signet, every one with his name, according to the 12 tribes. And they made upon the breastplate chains at the end of wreathen work of pure gold. And they made 2 ouches of gold and 2 gold rings, and they put the 2 rings in the 2 ends of the breastplate. And they put the 2 wreathen chains of gold in the 2 rings on the ends of the breastplate. And the 2 ends of the 2 wreathen chains they fastened in the 2 ouches, and they put them on the shoulder piece of the ephod before it. And they made 2 rings of gold, and put them in the 2 ends of the breastplate upon the border of it, which was on the side of the ephod inward. And they made 2 other golden rings, and they put them on the 2 sides of the ephod underneath, toward the forepart of it, over against the other coupling thereof, above the curious girdle of the ephod. And they did bind the breastplate by his 2 rings unto the rings of the ephod with a lace of blue, that it might be above the curious girdle of the ephod, and that the breastplate might not be loosed from the ephod, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he made the robe of the ephod a woven work of all blue. And there was a hole in the midst of the robe, and as the hole of a habergeon, with a band around about the hole, that it should not rend. And they made upon the hems of the robe pomegranates of blue and purple and scarlet and twined linen. And they made bells of pure gold, and put the bells between the pomegranates upon the hem of the robe, round about between the pomegranates. A bell and a pomegranate round about the hem of the robe to minister in, as the Lord commanded Moses. And they made coats of fine linen of woven work for Aaron and his sons, and a mitre of fine linen, and goodly bonnets of fine linen, and linen breeches of fine twined linen. and a girdle of fine twined linen, and blue and purple and scarlet of needlework, as the Lord commanded Moses. And they made the plate of the holy crown of pure gold, and wrote upon it a writing like to the engravings of a signet, Holiness to the Lord. And they tied unto it a lace of blue to fasten it on high upon the mitre, as the Lord commanded Moses. Thus was all the work of the tabernacle of the tent of congregations finished. And the children of Israel did according to all that the Lord commanded Moses, so did they. And they brought the tabernacle unto Moses, the tent, and all his furniture, his taches, his boards, his bars, and his pillars, and his sockets, and the coverings of ram skin dyed red, and coverings of badger skin, and all the veil of the covering. The ark of the testimony, and the staves thereof, and the mercy seat, and the table and the vessels thereof, and the showbread, the pure candlestick with all the lamps thereof, even with the lamps be set in order, and all the vessels thereof, and the oil for light, and the golden altar, and the atoning oil, and the sweet incense, and the hanging for the tabernacle door, the brazen altar, and the grate of brass, his staves, and all of its vessels, the laver and his foot, the hangings of the court, his pillars, and the sockets, and the hangings for the court gate, and his cords, and his pins, and all the vessels of the service of the tabernacle, for the tent of the congregation, the cloths of service to do service in the holy place, and the holy garments for Aaron the priest, and his sons' garments to minister in the priest's office, according to that the Lord commanded Moses. So the children of Israel made all the work. And Moses did look upon all the work, and behold, they had done it as the Lord had commanded. Even so had they done it, and Moses blessed them. That concludes chapter 39 of the book of Exodus. We have one more to go. We have chapter 40, and then we get to enter into Leviticus. All right, I hope you guys are having a great day. It's the weekend. Make sure you do something fun for yourself. Make sure you do spend some time with God. And if you're able to go to church on Sunday, please do. I know a lot of people feel that church is not necessary, but trust me, it is. That is your spiritual feeling. You can go out into nature, you can do other things and be with God as well, but you should go to church. You need to be around other Christians, all right? You can debate that if you like. All right, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate everything you all have done. Thank you for all of your support and for pushing my channel like you have. From Central Texas, while waiting to pick up my son from school, God bless.
When life keeps falling and wonder where he is in all this mess, he's right there to guide you, unseen, you're not